I'm gonna tell you a story, but the first thing you have to understand is time doesn't work the way thinking does. You can go miracles and most dog do what can call. Alright. Moving on with Malika Pazu ho ho ho. Bien nacida Tia Paradma Namazaraka Savengelita Avatara Sabakarari and Babakarari Penikroti Sambishati Prasrayari Pasubhavai. Associate with, insinuate yourself into, identify with, cohabit, reduce to order, become a beast. Woo! So that is the Prasita Rtia Paraman, or the Ingumi. Did I say that right? Yeah, Inguma. So the Inguma, or the others and the outsiders. One of the families representing nightmares of the other. Their in its family is their existence inside the growth of cities. They may not be overly monstrous. They may not be overtly monstrous. The fear they represent is the fear of someone who doesn't quite fit in or who is not quite right. Their horror thus most often looks like a normal human, but for one unsettling feature. More monstrous Inguma may have horrors with blank faces, mirrored skin, or bizarrely distorted anatomy. Prior to that, nearly all Ingumi experience the same sequence of nightmares in which they behold a ruined city and gradually realize they are the ones who ruined it. The uniformity of this narrative may be explained by the relative youth of the family. Their primary birthright lowers the threshold for exceptional success on any rolls to infiltrate, bluff, or disguise themselves. Alternate birth rates for Inguma allow them to send phantom messages or to a chosen victim, which vanish after being read, or to catch the attention of a target and then just as swiftly vanish from sight. I see. So, Mama Zarrak Avatar, Parakita Urtia Paraman, Sahajarikara, Samakaradi and Babakaradi, Pinikarati Abijayati, Prasadayadi Nergachati. Associate with, insinuate yourself into, identify with, claim as one birthright, reduce to order, disappear. Because that sounds pretty groovy. Alrighty. Now, while I'm at it, so, in a previous one, when we were talking about inheritances, we talked about, where are you? Apex. Apex! An apex, wow, is the figure that is responsible for the most fears that manifest in the primordial dream within a given area. Every supernatural creature, and sometimes even mortals, have the potential to become the apex. The requirement of becoming the apex is regular contact with humanity, so a vampire elder that secludes themselves in their haven has a low chance of becoming the apex, while an actively meddling changeling court has a much higher chance. In most cases, beasts look to the apex of the city as a leader, if not even if it is not a begotten. Some begotten who have become the apex exploit this by sending nightmares to other broods, bringing them to heal and forcing them to pay tribute. Hive traits. Even if the apex has little contact with the local begotten and vice versa, they will be known by the influence on the local hive. This takes the form of a layer trait that is imposed on every chamber in the apex's sphere of influence. If the apex is a beast, this probably reflects some aspect of their own layer. Non-beasts will impose some feature appropriate to their own natures. An apex vampire might impose perpetual darkness, for instance, while a Promethean apex may leave a lingering stench throughout the hive. The more powerful the apex, the greater their influence on the primordial dream. Now, I feel like this is more of a note for storytellers. Anything else? Notably, both beasts do not gain the automatic immunity to the hive trait that they do to their own layers traits, which may range from minor inconvenience to a serious threat. If the current apex is making the hive unlivable for many established begotten, it may lead to an exodus, a regime change, or simply a reshaping of the entire beast community to internalize the disruptive threat or trait. All right, and where are we? And hive. The hive refers to the interconnected set of chambers that form in the primordial dream near a population center. A chamber forms when a human experiences tremendous fear, having leaving behind an impression in the primordial dream. The begotten build their layers from chambers and are primary makers of chambers, but other supernatural beings may inspire enough fear to leave a chamber behind for a beast to acquire. The apex of a given area exerts a subtle influence over the entire hive, including layers, even if they are not themselves a beast. The entire hive of community takes on a common trait such as darkness, dense fog, or tangled undergrowth that reflects the nature of the apex. This trait appears gradually and fades gradually if the apex changes. Unlike the traits with their own layers, beasts are not automatically immune to this hive trait, which may create discontent if the trait is particularly harmful or disruptive. For instance, an apex whose signature trait is blinding light would be an inconvenience to begotten who prefer to hunt darkness. One whose apex trait is floods of corrosive acid would be a threat to the safety of every beast not already immune to such conditions. Beasts may build their layers and chambers in different hives, or even chambers that belong to no particular hive, such as one formed in the hedge, the shadow, etc. This means different parts of the layer may be subject to different apex traits. That's wild. Alright, that's apexes and hives, which are specifically important to the incarnation inheritance. And, yeah, we're moving right along. Alright, now we're going to talk a little bit about Anathema. An anathema is a weakness imposed on a beast by a hero. Anathemas may resemble the bans or banes of a spirit or the innate weaknesses of legendary monsters. From the hero's point of view, they have discovered this weakness. From the beast's point of view, the anathemas pose on them from the outside. If you're fighting a Medusa and you say Bane of Mirrors, that's not really imposing on them. Saying that they have to abide by their legend isn't imposing on them. I'm just like, that's just how I feel. Anyway, a beast is vulnerable to anathemas only when it is sated, but the effects of only when it is sated for a 6 satiety, but the effects of the anathema persist even the condition is resolved. An anathema can be removed, but with a considerable difficulty and risk of beast in question. For example, the Bane anathema can result if beast starves herself down to ravenous, but a ravenous beast needs a greater source of fear from which to feed. In the meantime, her wandering horror may range through the nightmares of mortals around her and trigger the arrival of yet another hero. That sounds inconvenient as heck. A beast can only suffer from one anathema at a time. That makes sense. The affected beast and any heroes who encounter it then can detect anathema and know exactly how it works, but it is otherwise invisible to both mortal and supernatural means of detection. The Telasi are collectively affected by anathema that no individual can remove. Some think that if enough Telasi achieve the incarnate inheritance, the anathema will be lifted, but so far this has not been proven. List of anathemas. Below are the anathemas in the core rulebook. The effects of anathema vary according to the beast satiety, with more severe effects at higher levels. Bane, Adi. The beast becomes unusually vulnerable to a specific substance such as wood, iron, or silver. Yep. That's common for Fae. Entrancement. The beast becomes obsessed with a specific type of object or person and cannot focus on anything else in the presence of one. Particularly dangerous to collectors. You know what that reminds me of? Grains of Rice with that vampire from X-Files. Phobia. The beast develops a severe panic reaction to a specific trigger. Rage. The beast is consumed by uncontrollable anger and may lash out violently at anyone or anything. Wow. That sounds like a terrible thing to actually put on a beast. That's terrible. Why would a hero do that? That sounds dumb. Weak spot. One specific part of the beast's body is unusually vulnerable to damage. Well, that makes sense. Weapon bound. The beast is uniquely vulnerable to injuries from a specific weapon. The anathema is resolved if that weapon is destroyed. Additional anathema mentioned in other sources. Chosen one. The weapon bound anathema exception applies to all attacks by a specific individual. Oh, wow. I'm the chosen one to defeat you. Boom. Well, it looks like I'm screwed if you're around. Wow. Alright. And that is, that's where I'm going to wrap this one up. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe.